Good. Wow, that was very, very impressive. I enjoyed that. Wonderful. Okay, well, let's have fun with this piece. Well, what is Polonaise?
It's a Polish dance.
It's a dance. It's a very fun occasion, and she starts off like it's a trumpets coming in, you know, bells, and you come in with this great solo, big solos, like not, but he goes, it's like G string, E string, G string, E strings, amazing. Bring those out more. I know you were doing, I would do, and then the next bar he says grazioso. What does that grazioso mean? Lightly, gracefully, like a dance. And he writes mezzo forte on it. So I wouldn't be, that's a little too heavy. First two bars, yes, heavy. And then, go crazy on it, okay? Can you make that big difference more? That drastic difference once more? So, yeah, you can start. Smile. Shh. Yeah, those. What you... Okay, so... Can you be a little bit lighter on the strokes even? Sometimes you go... This was good. You were getting heavier then. Maybe still stay lightly on those. And then I would... I know he did write mezzo forte, but you're coming off of a big introduction in the orchestra, actually. Dum, ba-da-dum, bum, trumpets going crazy, blaring. You want to... And take your time. Nobody's beating you to it. There's no accompaniment, I don't think. Well, but it's dum, bum, bum, yum, bum, bum. And then real dance starts the second bar of your entrance anyways. So the first bar is kind of sort of like somebody, the ladies coming onto the stage, So yum. And really release at the harmonics, okay? Okay. 2 bars before. Now you're on. Okay. Now, I would like to know, so you think that character does, the pianissimo he writes goes up. This is still, I would like for you to stay in that character. That kind of, sort of, the ladies with the silk chiffon, like, in the air, rather than, it's becoming a little bit too feisty. I would like for you to stay, because the next comes again. You know what I mean? Yeah, I like that sort of the elegant, that gracefulness, that character to stay, so that when you come in feisty, when you come in brilliant, that becomes a lot more noticeable. Okay? So enjoy that pianissimo, and then a little bit. Don't get so feisty yet. Okay? Once more, it's just started. Yeah. Can you, the first note, he could have written 16th with an accent with a rest, but did he? What did he write?
8th note.
Yeah, 8th note. It's the first part is all 8th notes. Yes, accented, so you can, and because I would try to put, you could play them near the frog, but don't clip the sound. In fact, really enjoy the G string sound more. Vibrato. Instead of that. Stay in that character, and then And then especially before that comes in anyways, that's minor key. Before that tragedy, somebody falls and the chandeliers break, I don't know, something happens, you know, but before that tragedy happens, just stay in that elegant, that mode a little bit more, celebratory mode, okay? So come in, dum, and really play the 8th note, not the clipped 16th, or nor even, it almost sounded like 30 seconds. It was so short. With the vibrato on the G string, and let the G string really speak, okay? Bum, bum. Yes. Okay, largamente, stay on that character a little. It's, and then stay on that largamente mode. Da da di da di da 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 di ya dum. Na da 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 di da di da brum ba dum. Okay. Once more from the. That was great. I love the G string. Beautiful. Yeah. And now, elegant. Okay, good. The second time comes, we know what it's gonna be. Maybe do the mezzo forte and the crescendo. How many times are we gonna hear that? I know he did write it every time, same dynamics, but you know, never play the same thing twice the same, right? So try to you know, just be really free with it and just entertain us. It's really you know, these showpieces are really for, yes, our enjoyment too, but we get enjoyment from watching you guys enjoy it, because it really takes a lot of work to play these works. It's not that much fun for players. You know, Allison, you know that, right? Like, we know that, you know that. But we don't need to stress the audience, right? They're here to enjoy the experience. And so we need to make it seem like this is no problem. And whatever is coming up, it's going to be dramatic, but no problem for us. So we have to make them feel at ease. So anything that you can do, okay, and entertain us. And so that we don't fall asleep. Oh, she's playing that again. Oh, okay, boring, you know. No, it's not. It's very, very exciting. But I think I could add more to it, okay? So once more, and then do it. Can you, from there maybe? Or from there? Mezzo forte, yum, bum, bum, bee, yum, bum, bum. Oh no! Oh no, I'm just saying, oh no, what's coming up now? The minor key now, dark. Yeah. Okay, Evelyn, that's great. And you're playing all the right notes and everything. It's overdoing it. You know, when we play collective, remember when I said to Allison about, you know, when there's a forte, when there are a lot of you playing, it's a collective forte, right? So when we're playing fortissimo and there are a lot of notes in a first, you know, what is that? 4-note chords, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them clustered all together. Yes, he did want us to make it really known, like really aggressive sound or with the accent, articulate. But in the end, we don't want to sound that we're really being too aggressive. right? So I would make it collective fortissimo. How do you make 4 notes collectively fortissimo? Not playing all 4 of them fortissimo, because that will make it like 8 fortissimos, right? Right? So just make it, like a little bit less. So now there's a gap difference between that and it's the same thing basically, but we're putting it a little less pressure and maybe not re-attacking every time the bottom F. Because what is the moving notes? Top 2 anyways, right? So maybe lighten the pressure a little bit and not be so aggressive on those 4 note chords, okay? Good. Same thing, yeah, same thing. So don't be so aggressive, because when it's too much of clicking, that aggressive sound, we don't hear the pitch. It becomes, to human ears, it just sounds noisy. We don't want it to be noisy. We want it to sound like music to our ears. So let the pitches come alive, but by not being so aggressive with it. Once more, yeah, that bar, this bar, and that too. And even these, not too aggressive, not that. Don't be so far away from the strings when that's aggressive. Same thing, but you're being less aggressive. You could hear the notes better, I think. I could hear the notes better, right? So once more from letter A. Okay, once more. Play mezzo forte. Now, do the same thing, mezzo forte, but really play the notes that are moving. So, those are the notes I want to hear more than those. So, hear the melody line more than the chords itself. Once more from, she could do maybe by herself there. Da-da. Good. Now another try. You're doing like that. Can you be more on the string? Just the 4 notes. Can you do that? Good. More legato. Less pressure. Yes, now I hear the notes. It's cleaner, it's more polished. So, do that bit. A little bit less. Yeah. It's really hard. Single them out a little bit more. So instead of that, hear the difference? Besides, he did, technically writing, he did put, and then single note, single note. So you hear that with the bass in it. Not only that, while you're playing this, orchestra is helping you. So you really want to be able to, that's the melody line we want to really hear. The bottom notes, yes, it's there to really make it virtuosic and big sounding, grand sounding, but not necessarily so that your top melody line gets noisy sounding. Okay? So bring out the top notes a little bit more. Okay, so think about what are the top notes? Don't look at the music. Tell me.
D, C sharp, B,
A sharp, C sharp, and B. Exactly. Keep that in mind. Especially C sharp, I'm missing. Once more. Good, better. That's enough. You don't have to see. It's another place where you're working too hard, and it's to your disadvantage. Lighten the load, pressure under your right hand, and concentrate on the melody. Da ya di da 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 di ya da da dum ba da dum. You know, Mr. Pinkas Zuckerman, I took a lesson with him when I was 17, and I was playing Tchaikovsky waltz scherzo for him, and then he said, "This is very virtuosic work, and you're doing so much work. Why? Don't work so much. Be more musical." This is another place that this is, yes, the chords and thirds and the, 4-note chords, octaves going on, sixth, fifth going on. It's so hard, but don't make it seem so that they see us struggling. We want to make it seem like it's effortless for us. Be more musical. Make it easy for yourself. What is the top notes that's really gonna be cutting through when you're playing this with the orchestra? What do you think?
Top.
Exactly. So make sure those notes are, excuse me, I'm spitting like so excited. Those notes are in tune. Sometimes your C sharp is not high enough, it's out of tune, so all of a sudden make time for that. Once more from the A, now with a piano. Let's do it a little bit less. I talk when my students play and they know to go on, but I know you want to hear me. Yeah, do it a little bit less. It's still too much. Do less work for yourself. Think about the top notes. Be more musical. Once more from letter A. Yes, that was so much better. I think I could hear the melody line better. Was it easier for you? Yeah. Don't worry about playing all those notes of the chords all the time. So when you actually play it, it's quite aggressive at that fortissimo. So that's clean enough and all the music coming through. I wouldn't try to play this too much, too soft, because the next level going down is only mezzo forte. I mean, it's already, so I wouldn't do that. And then piano. Yeah. Once more from A, again, more bow speed, less pressure. So now, do you hear the difference? It just sounds angry and noisy. It's dramatic, not angry. Okay, A. Bim, that was really, really beautifully done. The only part that I thought maybe you could be more playful is this. And after coming out of all this, before you get into again major section, you know, instead of don't be in such a same character, and then assume the character maybe, maybe make it more different. Like take us from that beautiful melancholy, whole section to that brilliant dance section, that happy place, right? Like, ooh, what is that? What's coming up next? Instead of, if you do that, right? Yeah. One more thing. What do you think? So this repeats again, same thing repeating twice, and he makes it more embellished here with 6 notes instead of 4 notes. So maybe instead of, I know, going forward by how about doing it more in tempo, have more dignity to it, instead of doing that. I don't know. I mean, he kind of gives that idea, which you do beautifully, when he makes that embellishment. But then when he first introduces the melody, maybe not so much freedom with him. How about from letter C, or 2 bars before? This is letter C for her. So 2 bars before. Yes. And then that one too. Almost nothing. You could just really con fuoco with fire and molto crescendo, with a crescendo. But up till then, that dolce, that sweet, like really fragile. When you're so sad, that everything becomes slower and less. Sound less, slower vibrato, less vibrato. Less sound. Start to wake up. But that one really make a huge difference. Can you start once more? Letters, 2 bars before. Right, this is that famous Polish dance rhythm. I wouldn't be too musical with it, even though he did write it, dum, ba-da-dum, bum, be, like as if you're playing the trumpet part. And second time around, you could be a little bit more angst, play with an angst. So different character. And then again. This one, can you accent from the first note? Slow down the ball. Slow down the ball. Slow down the ball. Too fast. And then also fermata, right? So that we could go. Ultimately, what we want to do is with these short pieces, play them as if you're improvising. Play them as if these were all your music, your ideas. Thank you, Mr. Wieniawski, for providing us with this great music. But now we're going to present it as if I'm coming up with it. You know what I mean? So really, like I would try to come up with what will make it more interesting, what will make it more dramatic. I don't want to repeat the same phrase exactly same twice, close to one another, like the dum-ba, 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 you know, the first motive coming, you know, that saying, maybe second time when it comes back in the repeat, I want to do a little differently. So they keep us guessing what you're going to do, keep us interested. Don't give to us exactly the same thing every time it returns, because it becomes predictable. And predictability basically causes boredom, right? Okay, thank you. It's beautiful. Beautiful playing. Great. Thank you.